Kingdom Hearts can be played in many different ways. A lot of people tend to take a more casual, story-focused approach. Some do insane challenges like no damage runs on bosses with all these crazy different restrictions. A type of challenge or style of play that's been around for a long time, however, is speedrunning. Speedrunning is a very common thing in gaming in general and focuses on beating some of our favorite games as fast as possible and constantly whittling down a game's record second by second by second. I remember often when I was younger, I would always come home after school and immediately just open up Twitch or YouTube and watch some of my favorite runs or runners because it was cool seeing my favorite games being played in that manner. The most common ones I'd watch would be Jak and Daxter and Kingdom Hearts. I've even made a couple of attempts at speedrunning these games myself in the past when I had free time. I always loved speedrunners and watching speedruns because they would give me a new gameplay perspective on some of my favorite titles ever. A lot of you guys started watching me from my coverage of the Kingdom Hearts Ultimanias. It became kind of a staple of my channel back in the day. They're essentially glorified guidebooks with some pretty neat information and story details in them, but I wanted to take the style of those types of videos and use it to promote some other interesting topics in the Kingdom Hearts community, from artists to speedrunners to just whoever. There's so many talented people in the Kingdom Hearts community who are always doing amazing things, and I want to share some of those things with you guys who are interested. I've done a couple of these videos with animator and 3D artist George on Twitter, which you guys loved, and I want to keep doing these sorts of collabs with other creators as long as they're fine with it, of course, and if you guys like them. In today's interview, I want to cover Twitch and YouTube creator slash speedrunner, violin gamer, or ViolinSR. You should subscribe to both channels, by the way. Before we get into the interview, let me tell you a tiny bit about Violin and how hard he works, and we'll elaborate on this even more during the interview. But Violin is a musician who has done many covers of popular gaming songs and has been around the community for quite some time. He also streams on Twitch and over the past couple of years has gotten really into speedrunning for Kingdom Hearts, a game he's found lots of attachment with, being Kingdom Hearts 1, which he holds the current world record for any percent in all world beginner categories. As of the making of this video, he just improved and beat his own world record again. So this guy is absolutely insane at Kingdom Hearts 1, and it's easy to just get lost and mesmerized watching him play the game like very few can. Violin very recently accomplished the goal of reaching Twitch partner, while also reaching over 1,000 subscribers on his gaming channel on YouTube, where he uploads Kingdom Hearts gameplay videos and speedruns from his live streams. It's some seriously impressive stuff, so you should definitely go check it out. Also, Violin beat Yozora blindfolded, so yeah, I'm probably never going to attempt anything like that in my life, and he did it not once, but 3 times, just regularly on level 1 and on all pro codes. So Violin has just been doing crazy lately in all aspects of content. Anyways, I know this intro is pretty long, but I had to sell it. Violin actually sent me voice recordings, by the way, for his responses to the questions I asked as well. I'll still be reading off the questions, giving my comments, and filling any gaps, but most importantly, I want you guys to subscribe to Violin. All links are in the description down below, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So how long have you been speedrunning, and what has kept you speedrunning up to now?
I started speedrunning back in spring of 2016, where I speedran Crash Team Racing for the PS1, and I've been speedrunning ever since. My introduction to Kingdom Hearts speedrunning was Kingdom Hearts 0.2 in February 2017, and then I started learning my favorite KH game, KH1 Final Mix, in March of 2017. I've definitely had some ups and downs in my speedrunning career, but my community has always been my main motivation that keeps me going. I also love playing Kingdom Hearts competitively, which is not something I thought was possible before I discovered speedrunning, and climbing in the leaderboard ranks has been really fun, challenging, and rewarding.
What is the mentality of a speedrunner like, and what makes going for a world record fun or interesting?
I always preach that mentality is the most important aspect of speedrunning, even more so than actual skill, so I'm super happy that this question came up. When I first started speedrunning, it was all for good fun, but for the past year, I have really been aiming to get recognition for being the best. When being the best is your goal, you really have to be careful with your mentality so that you don't get burnt out, since you're playing the same game over and over for many hours each day. In In my case, I was putting in 40 plus hours per week as I speedrun full time. I could go on and on about how to prevent burnout, but the most important thing is to avoid resetting too frequently and to not let things in the run upset you. Most people don't realize that the most successful speedrunners have had more runs fail than everyone else on the leaderboard, so you can't succeed without failing. A lot. Being second place and going for the world record also comes with a lot of pressure from the community and viewers, so it is important to not let anybody rush you into getting world record, as that can burn you out very, very quickly.
For anyone who wants to speedrun or wants to do anything at this level in the Kingdom Hearts community, this is something you should definitely take to heart, because mentality is super important, not just with speedrunning, but with content creation in general. I remember hopping into Violin streams every once in a while and seeing him just grinding for the world record for Kingdom Hearts 1, like every day, just hammering at this world record, trying to improve, trying to get the best time. If you guys want to be speedrunners and you want to grind for that world record, want that recognition of being the best, you will likely have to put in the time to get there. It's not going to happen immediately. You can't succeed without failing. What are some of the struggles of speedrunning Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, like annoying or hard parts?
KH1FM is very notorious for having a lot of RNG. For those who don't know what RNG is, it stands for Random Number Generation and is basically what drives every random aspect of the game. This can include things such as enemy spawns and patterns, party member actions, and the worst part of the speedrun by far, Hook ship. You guys might remember that when you fly to Neverland for the first time, Hook's pirate ship appears and you crash land into it with Donald and Goofy. What you might not know is that Hook ship isn't guaranteed to appear and has a 30% chance of not showing up at all if you haven't finished all of the other worlds. If this happens, the game will take you all the way to Atlantica, which loses 46 seconds the first time and 26 seconds every time you miss Hook ship after that. And yeah, you heard that right. You can miss Hook ship multiple times in a row. This is a huge run killer and has killed hundreds of my runs. I'm actually known in the speedrunning community to have the worst hook ship RNG out of any runner, so you can probably imagine how much pain I've had to go through.
That is actually one of the craziest fun facts I've ever heard or learned from watching Kingdom Hearts 1 speedruns. I remember being just completely shocked that you were even able to miss hook ship, because us playing casually or playing through Kingdom Hearts 1 for the first time, since we're not speedrunning the game, playing it multiple times a day, we usually do all the worlds that we can, or at least visit them, and overall just have a very low chance, even if we do skip a world, to miss the hook ship. But for speedrunners, it's like an actual thing they think about in the back of their heads all the time, because 30%, that's a lot. That's a big number right there. I mean, you have a 70% chance of making it, but 30% chance of it not showing up. When you're doing multiple runs a day, let's say you do 10 Kingdom Hearts 1 speedruns in a day, 3 attempts out of that 10 are pretty likely for a hook ship to not show up. So that is pretty insane. Imagine you're on a world record run and you miss hook ship. It's absolutely just insane. It's really one of those things you would not even think about or know about even if people weren't speedrunning, you weren't watching people play the game in this fashion. How different is each category of Kingdom Hearts 1, and what are some of the most enjoyable ones for you?
The main category of speedrun is any percent, which is the fastest full game category in KH1. Any percent means that you can finish the game at any percentage, which means that we skip Atlantica, Olympus Coliseum, and 100 Acre Woods, which are completely optional worlds. That being said, there are some other cool categories such as All Worlds, where you seal the keyhole in every world, including the optional worlds, and Jiminy's Journal 100%, where you complete Jiminy's Journal as fast as you can. Each of these categories can be played on beginner mode, standard, proud, and even level 1, so there's a lot of variety. Currently, beginner is my favorite difficulty because it is the fastest, but the rest of the difficulties are pretty cool as well and are very different from each other. As for my favorite category, I think Jiminy's Journal 100% is pretty cool because you get to do every fun thing in the game, including Sephiroth, Unknown, and getting all of the Trinities and Dalmatians. A cool thing about JJ 100% in KH1FM is that it is way shorter than all of the other Kingdom Hearts games. For example, JJ JJ in KH2FM is over 9 hours long, while KH1FM JJ is just over 4 hours long.
That is actually pretty crazy how big the difference is between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2's Jiminy Journal runs in terms of time. Why are a lot of speedruns for Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix in Japanese?
KH1FM speedruns are faster in Japanese because there are a lot of text box cutscenes in the game that we have to mash through that you can't skip, and the text scrolls fastest in the Japanese version. Although there is a global version non-JP exclusive sequence break in Traverse Town where you get to talk to Leon early, JP is still about 20 seconds faster than the English version. That being said, if you want to aim for a top time but you're not comfortable with memorizing Japanese menus, you can still be competitive on the leaderboard. Of the top 20 runs on the KH1FM leaderboard, 7 of those runs are done on the English version of the game.
What are some things or mechanics you utilize while speedrunning that aren't so often used in more casual playthroughs?
The main mechanic we use in speedruns that is definitely overlooked in casual play is the simple act of timing your combos instead of mashing the attack button. In KH1 and KH2, you attack faster if you time your inputs rather than mashing the attacks out. Using this timing, we can loop a lot of tough bosses, including Dragon Maleficent, Anti-Sora, and Riku Ansem. A lot of fights, including the ones I listed, also require you to do precise short hop attacks, which takes a while for most runners to master. Now, I'm sure you want to know if there are any crazy glitches involved in the run, and while the any % run on JP is completely glitch-free, there are some cool glitches we perform in JJ 100% and All Worlds. The first one is called Dolphin Clip and is an out-of-bounds that we do in Atlantica, where we grab onto a dolphin as it's spawning from the wall and let go of the dolphin while it's still in the wall. This lets us skip having to go to the sunken ship normally by using a dolphin to go through the currents that you otherwise need Mermaid Kick for. The second cool glitch we use is called Poo Warp, and it's a cool warp we use in the last minigame of 100 Acre Wood, where we attack on the same frame that Pooh uses the last set of flowers to raise up onto the platform where you find Piglet and Owl. With this warp, you can also slide around, which looks really funny, and you're not even supposed to be moving, so Sora doesn't have any animations when you move around during the small cutscene, so he just looks like he's sliding around. It's really, really funny.
How many other Kingdom Hearts games have you committed to doing runs for?
I've also speedran Dream Drop Distance and Kingdom Hearts 3, and I have also competed in various KH2FM randomizer tournaments. Although I'm not as good in the other KH games as I am in KH1, I'd like to master every Kingdom Hearts game in the future.
And for the final question, I simply just asked, tell us more about yourself and some plans for the future and where to find you.
Aside from my speedrunning accomplishments, I like to do a lot of various challenges in different Kingdom Hearts games. I was the first person to get an all excellent and full performer mode combo on every track in Melody of Memory, as well as being the first and only person to defeat Yozora blindfolded with all pro codes in KH3. I plan on doing a lot more of these challenges in the near future, and I've already planned out my next blindfolded boss fight. When Melody of Memory mods become widely available, I also want to make a master mode version of every track in the game, so I hope that people can look forward to tackling that challenge in the near future. If you'd like to check out my content, you can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/ViolinSR. Also, if you are interested in speedrunning a Kingdom Hearts game, consider joining the Kingdom Hearts speedrunning Discord, which you can find the link to at speedrun.com/KH1FM.
And there you have it. Thank you so much, Violin, for coming on to this video. I hope that many people after this are really interested and want to go ahead and check out some of your content, which you guys should do because Violin has done some pretty crazy stuff. I mean, beating Yozora blindfolded, like I said earlier, is no small feat. That's pretty insane. So if you want to check that out, you can only check that out on his channel. So make sure you check that link in the description down below and hit that subscribe button. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed learning more about Kingdom Hearts 1, speedrunning for Kingdom Hearts 1, and Violin himself. I would love to have Violin on again in the future, and if you guys want to see more interview videos like this just in general, you guys already know what to do. Leave a like, share the video with a friend or a family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the union, all you have to do is hit that red subscribe button down below. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out, you guys. Bye.